My name is Barbara Rising Bishop, and I'm here at the invitation of Susan Ferry to read an updated version of an email I sent to her and Haywood Alexander in honor of his 2012 retirement as music chairman of the church. So this is a tribute story. I think I was still a teenager when Francis Shepard first asked me to play for a Randolph church service in the early 1970s. As you may recall, the organ at that time was a single manual reed organ with a split keyboard that could be arranged to behave like a piano. Mrs. Shepard sent me a letter with gentle directions about how to choose music, such as Mendelssohn's Consolation from the Songs Without Words for piano, and to keep the offertory music to a minute or less. I loved every minute of practicing for my 1 or 2 summer Sundays, and I loved that my mother would come with me when I practiced on Saturday nights, and I was glad she was there late one night when Larry Martin suspected church intruders and banged on the door with a shotgun. I also loved that my dad ushered on my Sundays and let me know afterwards what went well and what didn't. During the winter, he helped me improve my sight reading skills by calling out random numbers from his study. I'd have to look them up in my pilgrim hymnal and play them on the piano. I dreaded number 213, Jesus Savior Pilot Me, which has 4 flats and tricky counting, but somehow it always made it into the lineup. Then in 1997, Haywood's beautiful organ, the Ruggles organ, arrived with 2 manuals, stops, and pedals. I was there for the dedication. He played the Bach St. Anne Fugue, and it was absolutely beautiful. But I knew right away I couldn't play this instrument, and I had a choice, either give up or take lessons. So at an age when most people are starting to plan for retirement, I signed up for organ lessons from a teacher in Nashua, New Hampshire, where I live. After a couple of lessons at her house on a small electronic organ, she seated me in front of the huge Austin at First Church Nashua. It has 3 manuals, every possible combination of manual and pedal couplers, 3 expression pedals, a full curve pedal board, toe studs, and what seemed like hundreds of stops. I thought the Randolph organ was intimidating. This was terrifying. But I arranged with the church to practice there twice a week, along with practicing on my piano, until I found a practice organ with a pedal board to work on at home. I worked and worked. I got chronic tendinitis in my hands and arms. I was given and learned the Bach little preludes and fugues. Finally, I could sight read hymns with hands and feet. I was given and did my best to learn Bach, Franck, Vierne, and Mendelssohn for my Nashua student recitals, where I was the only adult. All of this led to a job playing at the Christian Science Church in Nashua, where I met singers and an opera guru who became some of my best friends. I also kept playing in Randolph once or twice a summer. I think it's fair to say that the new Randolph organ changed my life. Without my Randolph experience, and especially without Haywood's support, I probably never would have played a pipe organ. I never would have played the Bach Vivaldi in a recital at the church. I never would have traveled to Nuremberg, Germany to sit in Papa Bell's church, or sought out a church service at Saint-Sulpice in Paris, where people can go up to the organ loft to watch Daniel Roth play the great Cavaillé Cole instrument. And I never would have attended American Guild of Organists and Organ Historical Society conventions, where I heard Sophie Veronique, Koshifer Choplin play and give an improvisation class, was delighted by Monica Chels playing Will-o'-the-Wisp on a small organ in a little church in Connecticut, and sat in on an Olivier Latry master class where he told one student to study Chopin. I would never have heard of the Orgel book line or the Bach Trio Sonatas. I would never know anything about Wilbur Held or Eugene Gigoux or performers such as Marie-Claire Ellen. I would never have been to a Methuen Great Organ concert, and I certainly would have sought out organ recitals in every city I've traveled to or visited in recent years. So there you go, and Haywood, like my dad, you've been there for nearly all of my Randolph services, letting me know what went well and what didn't, and being persistent about not giving up. It means a lot, so thank you 1,000 times.